The other thing about that book, though, after last night, after having gotten through it, that stood out was that the FBI spent 5 years of man hours and research and tireless effort to track down the members of the group Rapid Neurosis. 5 years of taxpayer money and funding, and all of it went into it. And then a whole process of jury selection down there in Texas that did everything in its power to exclude anybody that was technologically sophisticated from the operation, and they got owned in the Texas court, run over. 5 years of investigative resources went into it. 5 years of money that the taxpayers had to pay for the FBI's salary to track these guys down. And what was the end result? But the guy that they had built their entire case, on being Callie himself in the whole case, gets off with it. The jury just walks away. One of his co-defendants in the whole thing, another one of the guys that's in the whole thing, walks away on a case of jury nullification. Who decides that maybe the laws, maybe what he did was terrible, but or maybe he was guilty, but the law wants to be too harsh to him and let him off the hook for the whole thing and nullified. They couldn't find a jury that was willing to convict these guys in the end and ruin their lives over sharing files. Now I want you to understand something. I'm angry. I'm angry that I had to read a book to find that fact out. I'm mad. And I should be mad. And I have every right to be angry because our media didn't do its fucking job and report on that, because that fact embarrasses the FBI. That fact embarrasses the government. And how dare anybody report any news that does anything like that? We had to take to the print media to discover those kinds of facts. Callie walked. Callie Glover in the whole thing was the guy that supplied he was the only guy that went down, and he only went down because he didn't actually fight them and resist them and get a lawyer and refuse to cooperate. He pled guilty, and that was his mistake. The others that stood and fought them walked away from the whole thing and got away with it. The ring and Glover wasn't even the fucking ringleader. Callie was, and Callie walked. Kasim to this day denies, being tied to this, internet entity, entire, and it's more than likely that he's just, full of shit, and actually was. But who cares? I mean, the primary thing that I wanted you to take away from all of this is that they're taking your tax dollars and they're spending them trying to fight internet pirates, and these are the results that they're actually getting. I want you to understand that. I want you to understand that that the courts had to spend a ton of money, that the FBI had to spend a ton of money in that investigation. They had to spend a ton of money that they took from your money as a taxpayer, trying to take these guys down, and they got nothing for it. Now I want you to think about what I've been saying this whole time. Copyright infringement lawsuits are inherently they're just a waste of money. They've always been, and that what we ought to do is legalize it so that we can stop wasting the court's time and stop wasting the taxpayers' money, because we can expect more of the same if we keep going down the road that we're going down. If we keep the status quo, you will continue to waste taxpayers' money fighting internet piracy. Maybe it's been said that over and over and over again that doing the same thing over and over and over and over again, expecting different results, is the definition of insanity. This is not actually the definition of insanity, though. The real definition of insanity is the inability to tell the difference between right and wrong. But see, You know, I I happen to think that maybe it's wrong to waste the taxpayers' money fighting a war that they're clearly getting served, that they're clearly getting run the fuck over by, that they're clearly losing and getting their ass kicked. I think it's wrong for the government to waste taxpayers' money trying to prosecute criminals that it can't convict. Sue me for that take. Leave them alone. That's how I feel about this whole thing. And how dare our corporate fucking overlords that manage the news force me to fucking find out those facts by reading a book.